Hello fellow nerds and welcome to my channel where I do Yu-Gi-Oh! Box openings, anime reviews, game reviews, and versus videos. Today I'm going to do another versus video in which I take two fictional characters and I compare their physical and mental ability, skills, resources, and accomplishments. Let's get started and introduce our combatants. Aquaman vs Namor the Submariner. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who in the world is Namor the Submariner? Well, to answer your question, Namor is a Marvel superhero that is half human, half Atlantean. Aquaman is very similar to Namor as both are half human and half Atlantean. Both are kings of Atlantis and have very similar powers. Namor and Aquaman have so many similarities that I thought it would be a good versus match to see which one is truly the king of the sea. Oh, and if you're just wondering which one came out in comics first, it was Namor making his first appearance in 1939, while Aquaman's first appearance was in 1941. Let's start off with a bit of their origins. And again, since there are so many versions of their origins, I would choose their most recent versions of their origins. I will start with Namor. In the Marvel Ultimates universe, there was a professor named Mary Storm, who was looking for the lost city of Atlantis, and finally discovered it after 15 years of searching. She then enlists the help of the Fantastic Four because she is the mother of Susan and Johnny Storm, the Invisible Woman and Human Torch. The reason why Mary needs the help of the Fantastic Four is because Mary didn't have the equipment needed to dive deep enough to reach the lost city. So the Fantastic Four show up and dive deep to the city, and while searching the ruins of the city, they come across a sarcophagus labeled Namor. Namor awakes from the sarcophagus in a blind rage and attacks the Fantastic Four. Luckily, the Fantastic Four were able to subdue Namor, and that is when Namor comes to his senses. Namor quickly learns how to speak English in about an hour. He explained that he was a king of Atlantis and that the city was attacked and he was placed in suspended animation. Translating the Atlantic ruins symbols, they found out that Namor was 9,000 years old and has been in suspended animation for a very long time. Okay, now time for Aquaman's origins. Years before Aquaman's birth, his mother Atlanta, the Queen of Atlantis, saved a man from a storm that would have killed him. That man was Thomas Curry, a lighthouse keeper. The two fell in love and Atlanta got pregnant with their son, aka Aquaman. Atlanta asked to be released from the throne of Atlantis, but was imprisoned instead. She eventually escapes and makes it back to the lighthouse to be with the man she loves and give birth to Aquaman. Fearing the safety of her family, she leaves to go back to Atlantis in order to keep them safe. Years pass and Aquaman is figuring out he has powers no other ordinary human has. Okay, that is it for their brief origins. Now it's time to compare their stats. Starting with round 1, physical and mental abilities. Aquaman is half Atlantean and half human, which means he has the super strength of an Atlantean and is able to survive on land due to his human half. Like I said, Aquaman has super strength and is able to lift way more than 100 tons in water. On land, he can't lift as much, but is able to lift a 24-ton tank with hardly any difficulty. Aquaman has the strength to hold his own against other powered people like Wonder Woman, Lobo, and Superboy. Though he is not stronger than Superman, he is still able to do some damage to the Man of Steel. Aquaman has superhuman durability and stamina. His durability is tough enough to be almost invulnerable to extreme heat and gunfire. He can even withstand an automatic weapon at point-blank range, head-on collisions with trucks, and resist powerful energy blasts. His stamina is so high that he is able to stay in battles for long periods of time. So much so that he can swim across the globe non-stop for long periods of time. He also heals much faster than normal humans and Atlanteans. In the DC universe, Aquaman is said to be the fastest being in the water, being able to swim 175 miles per hour, and is able to go even faster at 6,818 miles per hour if the situation were to call for it. He even kept up with the Flash while he was running on water. Now that is fast. On land, he has great reflexes, agility, and speed as well. He is able to dodge point-blank gunfire, keep up with Deathstroke and Wonder Woman, even tackling Wonder Woman in a fight with his speed. He can dodge lightning, which we all know lightning strikes really fast. So being able to dodge that is a great feat. Aquaman can jump up to 4 stories high. He has enhanced senses, so he is able to hear, see, and smell further than humans. Although he is not as good as Superman, and is able to see in murky ocean water, even able to see 36,000 feet below to the ocean floor. He can control water using hydrokinesis. He also possesses a type of sonar, although it is limited. And finally, he can talk to fish. Well, not exactly talk to them, but is able to control them using telepathy. Aquaman is not a genius, but he is an expert tactician/leader. He is also known to have a superiority complex, always boasting about Atlantis' advanced culture, and is at constant odds with Batman, seeing himself as the appropriate leader of the Justice League. Okay, now time for Namor. Namor is a half-human, half-Atlantean mutant that is regarded as one of the most strongest mutants in the Marvel Universe. Namor possesses superhuman strength that allows him to lift hundreds of thousands of tons. It is said that in water he is unmatched. He is even able to fight toe-to-toe with the Hulk, Thor, and the Thing. He has superhuman stamina, durability, agility, speed, and has an accelerated healing factor, which is strongest when he is in water. He is durable enough to receive blows from both Hulk and Thor without taking too much damage. He is bulletproof and fireproof, which I assume allows him to endure energy blasts without taking too much damage. He can swim over 300 knots, which is about 345 miles per hour. He also has an extended lifespan. He is over 90 years old, and yet is physically in his prime. His healing factor allows him to fight for long periods of time. I couldn't find much on his speed or agility, but I assume since he can keep up with Thor and the Hulk, he can dodge energy blasts and gunfire no problem. He has the ability to channel marine life abilities. For example, he can channel the powers of an electric eel and fire out lightning blasts. He has wings on his feet, which allows him to fly. Namor can control water using hydrokinesis. He is an expert tactician. He has led his people in many wars and was successful. Personality-wise, he is hot-headed, but it is speculated that the reason he is like that is because of his mixed blood and is usually calmer in water. And finally, Namor can also use telepathy to control marine life, although he rarely uses this power. Okay, now to see who won this round. Well, seeing as both have similar powers, I believe that Namor has the upper hand because of his strength and durability. It is far above Aquaman's. Aquaman is strong, but he can only seem to barely hurt Superman, while Namor has fought toe-to-toe with the Hulk and has even defeated the Thing and Thor. The reason I mentioned Hulk was because Hulk is regarded as arguably the strongest being in the Marvel Universe. Superman is also one of the strongest in the DC Universe. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to say Marvel Universe for the Hulk. And Superman is also one of the strongest in the DC Universe, and Aquaman can't do much damage to him. So I give this point to Namor the Submariner. Round 2, Skills. Thanks to Namor having extended life, living over 90 years, he has become an expert at hand-to-hand combat, being trained by the Atlantean instructors, and is skilled enough to fight Thor. Now, Thor's Thor is a skilled fighter. Thor was able to fight hand to hand with Captain America, and Captain America is a master of martial arts. Even more so in a crossover comic book about the Avengers meeting the Justice League, Captain America fought Batman, and Batman acknowledges Captain America's skills. That's just to give you a bit of a perspective of how skilled Namor is to hand-to-hand combat. Aquaman is also an expert at hand-to-hand combat, being trained by Atlantean instructors Batman and Hawkman. Aquaman can stand hand-to-hand with Batman, Wonder Woman, and Hawkman, and those three are martial arts masters. I think this point goes to Aquaman, seeing as he has the skills and a more diverse training. As far as I can find, Namor, who hasn't really trained much in fighting, I credit his wins in fights due to his strength and durability and his experience. So point goes to Aquaman. Round 3, resources. Both Namor and Aquaman wield a trident. Aquaman's trident is indestructible and is able to pierce the skin of Darkseid. No other powers have been revealed about his trident. Namor's trident is also indestructible, being made out of adamantium or adamantine, and is able to shoot out energy blasts and project barriers. This round is hard to decide because both tridents are indestructible and can cut through pretty much anything. But I have to give the point to Namor because his trident has magical powers and is able to do more. Round 4, accomplishments. Now, since both Aquaman and Namor are heroes, their heroic achievements are high. So what I'm looking for in their accomplishments are the type of powerful enemies they have defeated. On one hand, Aquaman was able to beat Wonder Woman and was not able to beat Superman. On the other hand, Namor has defeated Thor and has been able to knock out the Hulk. Both Thor and Hulk are regarded as the strongest in the Marvel Universe, and so is Namor. While Aquaman is strong, he is not regarded as one of the strongest in the DC Universe. So this point goes to Namor. Alright, time to add up the points and see who won. Well, Namor wins with the score of 3-1. I feel that Namor would win the fight because of his strength and durability, seeing as both of them have very similar powers, and Aquaman does have the advantage of speed, but Namor's strength outclasses Aquaman's. Ultimately, their fight would be in the water. Aquaman would try to use his powers of water manipulation, but Namor can counter that with using his own power to manipulate water. Both can communicate with marine life, so neither can use that to their advantage, seeing as both have the same amount of telepathy power. So the only option would be hand-to-hand combat. Like I said before, Aquaman might be a better fighter, but Namor's experience would even out the fight. This is when they will pull out their tridents to gain the upper hand, and even though both tridents are equal when it comes to the indestructible part, Namor will use his energy blast to keep Aquaman on the move. Aquaman can use his speed to easily avoid the blast and get closer to Namor. And this is where Namor gets the upper hand because if Aquaman cannot knock out Namor, the fight will not end. This is where Namor advanced stamina and healing factor will come into play. All he has to do is tire Aquaman out and get in a few powerful punches to damage Aquaman, and ultimately knock him out and thus winning the fight. I assume that the fight would be long, seeing as both have superhuman stamina, but Namor's stamina is greater than Aquaman's. So it's safe to assume that Aquaman would get tired first. So that's my conclusion. Namor the Submariner wins. Thanks for watching this video. If you guys agree with me or disagree, let me know in the comments below. And don't be shy, I am taking requests as well. I would also like to give a shout out to my boy ScorePN. Me and him did a video on our thoughts on the new Batman vs Superman trailer. Go check it out. I will leave a link in the description below. Thanks for watching and goodbye.